Hey there, Inspired Evolution Tribe. How are you? Seasons are a natural part of life here on Earth for us. They bring changes in weather, changes in temperature, changes in daylight hours, changes in the environment. All of that affects us as living human beings and all other beings actually here on planet Earth. Thousands of years we've lived in harmony with this natural order of things, the natural cycles, with the seasons of the year. In fact, our life has adapted to being in harmony and in rhythm with this natural order and the rhythms of the earth. But in recent times, unfortunately, we've become disconnected from the earth and the natural world. And many of us have actually lost touch with the importance of living in harmony with the seasons. And I see this time and time again in my coaching. It's actually what I believe is underlying a lot of the burnout that we see. So now we're living in this fast-paced world. We can order food and goods at any time of the day, whatever you want to your house, literally at any given time of the night. We have air conditioning and heating, gratefully, that keeps us warm actually all year round, and the artificial light that extends our days and our working hours. And all of this lifestyle change actually comes at a cost, this modern living. We're missing out on the benefits of living in sync with nature, which can help us feel more grounded, more connected, and ultimately healthy. So, what are some of the benefits of living in harmony with the seasons? First and foremost, it's a spiritual thing, yeah? It aligns our minds, our body, our emotions, and ultimately our spirit to that of the earth. Connecting ourselves to the natural world is essential for our emotional, physical, and mental well-being. When we live in tune with the seasons, we boost our immunity. The changing seasons actually affect our immune systems, and living in alignment to the seasons can actually prevent injury and illness at different times of the year. So there's a massive effect on our immune system. Also, we can really improve our sleep. At different times of the year, different seasons, we have different exposure to daylight, and our sleep patterns are actually linked to the amount of daylight we're exposed to. And by adjusting our bedtime and wake time hours, we can actually improve our sleep quality and our energy levels. And also, when we're living in tune with the seasons, we have great improvements for our mood as well. A lot of that has to do with lifestyle and not expecting things of ourselves at the wrong time for the wrong things. Different seasons bring with them different natural things to be expressed, right? We have certain proclivities, certain interests, certain things that emerge at certain times, and the different seasonal changes affect our mood for sure. You know, people are happier during summer generally, and winter can be a bit more of a miserable time. But by embracing the positive aspects of each of the seasons, we can actually learn to appreciate life more. It can boost our sense of joy, gratitude, and ultimately bring us into greater levels of mindfulness and awareness. So, how can you live in harmony with the seasons? This is something that I love diving deep on in our coaching. And there are some real practical takeaways here. Some key tips for you guys is to actually spend more time outdoors regardless of the season, right? Spending more time in nature gives us an opportunity to observe weather, plants, animals, and gives us an appreciation of the different quality of the different seasons. But the key thing is that it helps us appreciate the diversity that's available throughout the year at all the different times and the real beauty of the natural world. And that is where we start to build a connection to it. And the second big piece for me was something that I got from Wild Fit at Mind Valley, run by Eric Edmeades. Eating according to the season. Where possible, you should source your food locally. It just ensures that it's fresher and it's in season. And food that's fresher and in season is always more nutritious and is always better for the environment. In winters, you're consuming yummier, hearty soups. And in summer, it's more, tending towards the rawer sort of side of vegetables and fresh fruits. And the big piece for me here is lifestyle, right? So adjusting our hobbies, our interests, our social activities, given the different times of the year and the seasons, this is really important because you've got, even here in Australia, we have actually daylight saving. So summers are significantly longer. The sun goes down sometimes at 9:30 p.m. in the evening, right? But then in winter, the sun's going down at 6. So how we approach our day and how we structure ourselves, how we conduct ourselves is going to be completely different. There's so much more opportunity for social inclusion and enjoying that, your friends, your family. And if you'll give me some permission here, I really would love to dive deep into my awareness of what the different seasons are about for your lifestyle and how to structure your lifestyle to map that. Ultimately, my interest here is to help prevent burnout in your life. I see this a lot with type A personalities, a lot here with business owners, a lot here for leaders, where we're consistently pushing. And in this capitalistic world, I generally find there is definitely space for your masculine conversation. And, feel free to bring that to your coaching sessions with me. And we do this in our coaching where we look at your 10-year plan, then we break that down into your 3-year plan. Then we go down into, okay, what are you going to achieve this year? Then what are you going to achieve on a quarterly basis? And then on a month to month, we have a target. And then from there, we break it back every fortnight. We have coaching sessions and we sort of map your trajectory to that. But it's a very masculine conversation, right? The feminine, it's Mother Earth, right? For a reason. The feminine conversation in there is for us to have a look at how you are living in accordance with the seasons. Because in that masculine conversation, I also find everyone's always trying to do summer, right? Summer's all about expansion. It's all about living your fullest expression. It's always about going out, and you can just see it in the energy of the sun. It's just like, it's full, it's radiant. It's just go out and double down on things. What I find when it comes to winter, people are expecting themselves to be performing as if it is summer and doing the same activities, same interests, same hobbies, running their teams the exact same way as if it were summer. And it doesn't work like that. Winter's a time for hibernation, introversion, consolidation. So let me talk you through my awareness of what the seasons are at a really high level. Hopefully this can be of interest to you. And if you want to have more of a conversation around this, feel free to hit me up. I love having these conversations, as you can tell. So let's start with spring, right? Spring is all about emergence. It's a time for fresh thinking, fresh activities, trying something new, meeting new people, networking at new things, trying a new software for your business, trying a new team member in your team, anything fresh, right? Spring is a really good time. As you can see, it's about emergence. When you look out in spring, things are starting to come to life, right? Seeds are blossoming. It's really a beautiful time for emergence. Summer is all about shining, right? It's just about expansion. It's your fullest radiance, double down, full throttle, all those things that, you planted some seeds, they started to emerge in spring. In summer, it's like, just go, right? Give it everything you've got. And you'll notice this just in the natural order of things. There's less illnesses in the workplace during summer, right? Everybody's more vibrant naturally because they got more vitamin D. They're more expressive. They're more full. Everything just comes together. There's much more buzz, aliveness, and activity in summer, in your business, in your teams, in your personal life, in your family life. And then we've got autumn, and this is where we start to run into problems. Some of those problems are aligned with the fact that autumn actually, let's tune into it, is about the tree that's letting go of its leaves, right? So it's about shedding. It's about time to let go. And you've spent all summer expanding, yeah? And oftentimes we run into this problem because in a capitalistic model, we've got that shareholder expectation, that masculine conversation of quarterly returns, growth, quarter upon quarter, year upon year, which is not really the natural feminine order of things, right? What we've got there is this expectation to be in summer and just continuously expanding, yeah? And it's a surefire way to be sprinting, and guaranteeing yourself to burn out. Life is a marathon. Coming home to autumn, trending towards winter, autumn's all about letting go and shedding, right? There are certain things that just become harder to perform. I find that in my business every year when it comes to autumn, certain things just become harder to perform. And it's like, okay, why is that not working? Okay, we tried that this year or something was going really well. It's a time to let that go. And generally what you'll find is when you let that go, when it comes around through winter to spring, something else will emerge in its place. That happens again and again. But that doesn't mean that, it's not hard to be in autumn where you've got to start letting things go. And most people struggle with this because we've got that social expectation, that societal expectation, that capitalistic expectation to consistently perform and deliver and expand. So autumn is about letting go. It's about shedding. It's about, okay, what can I do less of? And less is more. This is that go slow to go fast conversation. How do I meter myself to ensure longevity and not break down? And this is where burnout becomes a real relevant conversation, right? You see people burning out because they've been delivering again and again and again, and they've just been pushing and pushing and pushing. This is a time for you to pull back a little bit, right? And come back into the natural order of things. It doesn't mean you're not working. You're still doing all the things you're doing. It doesn't mean you're not showing up for your family. It doesn't mean you're not looking after yourself, but it starts to look different. Then ultimately you come into winter, and this is all about, in a word, consolidation. Winter is all about the energy of hibernation, coming back in. It's a great time, right, to be doing something like an audit on your personal life, your finances, your business, how you're tracking, all sorts of metrics and stuff like that. And one of my favorite things to do, it's a great time to start coaching, guys, because it's a great time, even if you're coaching yourself, right, is to work on your vision. I've got a whole course on how to do your vision. I'll link that to the show notes below if you guys are interested in working on your vision. It happens to be winter where you are. But yeah, winter's a great time to take stock and plan for the next little bit, so that, because as you know, spring is just around the corner and you're just about to emerge into that, and setting yourself up, taking audit, setting yourself up with a vision so that when you do emerge, you're emerged in complete alignment to where you want to go, and making sure that's part of your overall strategy for life can be really, 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 really supportive. But winter, even when you look at some of the physical activities, right? It's a great time to be home doing yoga. It's a great time to be tucking into a really good book by the fireplace, spending time, just hanging out with your family, enjoying them. Whereas summer's a great time to be outdoors, hiking, exploring, going out to, restaurants with your friends, cafes, exploring all of that, going to the beach. So you can see that there's naturally different times, and different things are suited to those times throughout the year. And this is why it's so important to be in tune with the seasons if you want to be performing well, and not only that, being a high performer at a high level for an extended period of time. One of the key things that they talk about, even in our day-to-day, is the quality of our performance is directly linked to the quality of our breaks and our rest. This is looking at that on a yearly level. So do you rest when it comes to winter? Do you recharge and rejuvenate when it comes to winter? Or have you set this unrealistic, unhealthy, I want to say almost ungodly expectation on yourself to just put the pedal to the metal and keep the gas on, and even treat winter like summer and keep going and just going and going and going? It's not about expansion. Winter is about consolidation. I'll leave you guys with this story, right? So the year the Inspired Evolution was birthed, prior to that, for 5 years in a row running, I'd basically been leaving Melbourne in the wintertime to go to Europe. And I was basically double summering, if you look at it that way. I was having my summers in Melbourne, which lots of fun with all my friends and family and everyone around, and yeah, great times. But then also, when we come to winter, the peak June, August period, that's when we have winter here. I know that's different to those tuning in the, it's like the opposite to those by 6 months in the Northern Hemisphere. And it was one of the best times of my life, right? I was double summering. So imagine expansion, double expansion, 5 years in a row, just like incredible time. And I didn't realize that I didn't take time to audit and consolidate. This was prior to me becoming a coach. And that winter was actually the hardest winter I ever went through. There was a winter after all of this double summering that I basically was in Melbourne and I had to consolidate. And now energetically, and maybe that means something to you guys, and for others it's probably a foreign conversation, but the energetics of it was really intense, right? Because I basically had expanded 10 times over and had not gone through one consolidation cycle. And when things started to consolidate, had expanded into so many different things that when it was like time to let go, it was like, I was still holding on to so much. And when it came to winter, the consolidation actually had a purification process. There is this quality of purification, which is why I talk about auditing and vision in winter being really helpful in that hibernation space. It gets you really clear, really purified, so that when you shoot out into emergence and then expansion again, and then back into, go so on and so forth, you're really clear. But that was super consolidating, and I found it so challenging, and that challenge was so painful, actually, that was the year that my professional life wasn't working for me, and I was just like, this is not right. Like, so much has to change. And that was the birth of the Inspired Evolution podcast, and that's actually where it came from. It was all of that pain of, just not being in alignment. Fundamentally, what was happening was, because I was double summering throughout the year, I was expending all this time to just save money, time, and energy and resources to just enjoy my summers. But it's no way to live your life, right? To basically spend so much time grunting to then enjoy yourself. It was very much work hard, party hard. But even that wasn't necessarily sustainable, which is what we're talking about in this conversation, right? Honoring the natural order and cycle and rhythm of things is really important. Now, it doesn't mean you don't get to go away on holidays. Absolutely do what you need to do. But at the end of the day, living in alignment to the seasons and the natural order and Earth's rhythms is really, 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 really important for you. Living in harmony with the seasons is not just a lifestyle choice. It is a spiritual thing. It's a way of honoring our connection to the earth and each other. By embracing these natural rhythms, we can find more balance, more peace, more joy, more harmony, and ultimately feel healthier and contribute to a healthier and more sustainable world. So guys, I hope that really helps. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end. If you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Do like the video. And if you're new here, please do subscribe. It really helps me out a great deal. Every week, I'm sharing more inspiring videos for you to be living a more mindful life. Stay inspired. Keep evolving. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, leave us a comment. And if you want to stay in tune for the new episodes launching every Monday, hit subscribe and I'll see you in the next video. Stay inspired to evolve.